All right, this is this week's Freestyle Friday. We got Jacob from Mississippi just moved out here. Jacob, what is this? Flavor Gods?
A little Flavor Gods seasoning.
Flavor Gods seasoning. Got some chicken breast. Austin green. Okay, Material Warehouse Specialist. The Flavor Gods going. Got some Modelo's rocking. Barbecuing here at Caffeine Kilo. So me and Jacob are following the shred diet now. So we're doing some meal prep this week, getting after it. And Austin, I have you film now.
All right.
Don't turn anything off. Just leave it filming. So wait, what flavor is this?
That's the everything seasoning.
So we got everything seasoning.
And lemon garlic.
You gotta rub it all in. Lemon garlic. Church them up.
More seasoning.
There you go. Dean is gonna be a little MIA for this week's Freestyle Friday. He's got some stuff going on, but we're gonna hold it down. No big deal. So, Jacob, what is your previous experience with food prep? Have you ever done anything like this before?
Yeah, we used to do it every Sunday afternoon for a while. We would meat, potatoes, and vegetables pretty regular. Grill out in the backyard back in Memphis. A couple roommates, Blake and Mike. We used to do it pretty regular, I would say. Like we just cook chicken or like
Don't be too jumpy with that.
chicken or burgers or anything like that.
Yeah. There you go. Kind of just massage the meat. Right after it. All right, I'll have Jacob take over the camera, and we're gonna do a little bit of an interview on. Don't turn it off. Turn it off.
No.
Is it still on?
Yes, on.
Okay, dope. All right.
We're good.
So now we're gonna do a little bit of an interview on Austin while I'm cooking. So, Austin, why don't you tell us how long you've been working for Caffeine Kilos and kind of how you met us and everything?
Well, in a few days it will be exactly 1 year working here. 1 year exactly. So how I got into Caffeine Kilos? Well, first, when I'm about like 2 years into college, I wanted a job, like a real job, because I got tired of all the of like doing side jobs, like yard work and dog sitting. Not really that. More like dog sitting, but I don't do that though. Housework. I got tired of that. I wanted like a real, honest guy job. So then I went to Workability in Elk Grove, and then they suggested that since I like sports, I go to maybe I should try out getting a job at Warriors and work as an intern.
Well, whose gym is that?
Your gym is your CrossFit gym.
All right.
So she's suggested that, and I actually remember meeting you for the first time.
Was I nice?
Oh yeah, of course he was. And then I met Misha, and I was like kind of nervous because yeah, I was nervous because it was it's an interview, for an internship, and then a few days later Misha called, and then I was hired, and then worked there for about 2 years, and
You're talking to the camera, not me.
so anyway, I'll sit right here. And then about a year into working with Warriors, that was when Caffeine Kilos got started. It was actually started at in the attic at Warriors. So, and all we had was like, Charlie, all we had was like 3 different shirts and like 2 different hats, right? Yeah. We had it was like the blue, the gray, and the black shirts, and then we had the regular hat and maybe like 1 special hat, coffee, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're all over there. I used to help Dean do the coffee bags. Like I used to sticker and stamp them, but I don't do that anymore. And then about a year later, that was when we moved into the warehouse, and then I hung out with Charlie and Misha out doing something, and I remember Charlie going, "Hey Austin, how would you like a real job at Caffeine Kilos? Not a side job. I'm talking like a real, honest guy paying job, like paying taxes kind of job." And I said, "Sweet, yeah, sure." So I waited a few months, and then I was hired, and then here I am.
Here you are, dude, tearing it up. What's your experience been working with us? Like, what's your position here?
What I am the material warehouse specialist, and basically Charlie found that out by Googling job names, and he thought, and he actually thought that was a cool name because that's basically what I do. Is I'm the material warehouse specialist. Well, anyway, what I really am is the warehouse manager. So what I mainly do is I do the orders. So if you go online, you buy stuff from us, I'm the guy that boxes it up for you. And I'm the one that puts, tapes them, labels them, and ships it to the post office. Other than that, I do things like I clean the warehouse, I would restock things, I check inventory. Anything that involves doing the warehouse is what I run. And what is it about, like, say, like, a couple $100,000 worth of stuff all in this warehouse?
Yeah, right around there.
Probably something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been what I've been doing for almost a year now.
Awesome,
It's
man.
been great.
Cool. We'll get some more stories from you, but now I want you to take this camera and point it right here on Jacob. Jacob, right there. No, I'm gonna cook some more. So Jacob, scoot over a little bit. All right, Jacob. How did your process with Caffeine Kilos go? How did you find yourself here? What happened?
Well, it was a long drive, but I reached out to y'all, to Danny, Charlie, and Dean, about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and just, looking for an opportunity to work with. I had a college degree, looking to move out to the West Coast, so just reached out to them. We had a Skype interview. They happened to be looking for somebody. Went ahead and moved forward with that. Moved out here, drove 30 hours with my dad. We got out here, it took about 3 days, and since then it's just been getting used to living in a different part of the country, different weather. Weather's been nice, and kind of like learning the responsibilities of what I do here at Caffeine Kilos, and just kind of getting into the flow of things, like moving into a place to live, and really just living on my own now. So it's a lot of changes, in an area that I don't really know anybody, know a handful of people, so it's a lot of changes going on there.
Jacob, what would you say in the short time you've been here is a few words to describe your experience with working with us?
I mean, it's been eventful. It's probably a good word. It's not your 9 to 5. It's you never know what's going to happen, but you get a lot of work done regardless of where you are or what you're doing. So you accomplish a lot, but you may not just be sitting at a desk. So it's pretty nice work. Pretty nice work environment.
That's awesome. All right, I'm going to turn the camera back to Jacob to get another story from Austin. Austin, can you tell us about what you do as a professional athlete? What is your sport? What is it that you do?
I wouldn't say I'm a professional athlete, but what I am is I play a sport called disc golf. And what it is, it's I can just show you right here.
Yeah.
So basically, it's exactly what it sounds. It's golf, just a different method to do it. It's a disc. Basically, you probably heard of frisbee golf, but what it is, it's a frisbee-looking disc, and then you just toss it into the basket, and then just like so.
There you go.
And that's it. So basically, that was just a short putt. So it goes in the basket, just like that, and it's in the hole. And that's what I do. I've been playing for about. I'm sorry, what was that?
How did you get into disc golf? Tell us how you got into disc golf.
So how I got into disc golf was, it's a little bit of a story, but when I was in 3rd grade, I had a teacher who was sick for about 2 days. And so we had a substitute to fill in for those 2 days. And on a Friday, for the last 2 hours of school, we had nothing to do. So we got back from lunch, and he had like all these bags of frisbees. So for PE, for the last 2 hours, we just played like frisbee sports. So he showed us ultimate, he showed us freestyle, but out of the three, the one I got into the most was disc golf, or frisbee golf is how he called it. So we would have a contest, like a long distance drive competition. We played with like a really lightweight driver, and I actually won the long distance contest. So I kind of just showed that I guess you can say I was a natural at it. Like I would
say that.
I was gonna do well in the future if I put my mind to it.
What about now? What kind of titles do you have in this sport? Are you a champion in any sport? Are you a pro? What's going on? What do people know?
Well, before I get into that, now here's how I really got into it. They first put in a course at Elk Grove Park that was like literally a 5-minute walk away from my house. Pretty much once they put in the course, that's when I started playing. I started playing like my freshman year of high school, and I played like about like once a week, and then like as my junior year of high school was over, I started to get a little bit more into it. So I played more courses. I got and started buying more discs, and then I started playing tournaments once I graduated from high school. And I've accomplished a lot since my first tournament.
Since your debut.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I don't know if Charlie knows this, but in my first tournament I've ever played, right after I graduated high school, it was in Stockton, and I won my very first tournament I ever played. How about that, Charlie?
It's awesome, man.
First tournament I ever played was in Stockton, and I won my first tournament. So since then,
we only have a little bit of time on the video, so you gotta tell them where you're at now. Where are you at? In the sport?
since then, I was a California State champion. No longer the California State Championships was like not too long ago. So I'm a state champion in California and Nevada. I'm a 2-time Central Valley Series champion in AM2 and AM1. I am the reigning Sierra Tahoe Series champion for a bunch of tournaments around the Tahoe area, and so I won that as an AM1. And I just moved out to pro just a few months ago. So that's how far I am into disc golf.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Appreciate it. And what are some things that you would like people to know? We're going to do what I call a 5-question drill. Okay, so 5-question drill. If you could be any animal, what animal would you be? Gotta be quick.
I say a dog.
If you could be, any kind of plant, what kind of plant would you be?
I'd be a sunflower because everybody smells me.
There you go. Number 3, if you had to be a professional athlete, who would you be?
Any professional athlete? Michael Jordan.
What do you think is cooler, fast cars or fast motorcycles?
Fast cars.
Would you rather be outdoors or indoors?
Wow, that's a good question. It depends on what I'm doing, inside or outside. But I would say I would be outside.
Okay, you're gonna go over there. You're gonna give Jake 5 questions, and he's got to answer them.
Okay, so Jacob,
What's up? Give him a question.
Even though you went to one of the games, which game do you think was a more important game or more like a historic game? The Warriors beating the Grizzlies, your team, or Kobe's final game?
Oh, I got to go with Kobe's final game. That's a career right there. I mean, you can't. I'm a Kobe guy. It's definitely Kobe's game. But I mean, I really enjoyed being at the Warriors Grizz. A little bit bittersweet, but.
Right. Apples or oranges?
Apples.
Okay.
They're not as messy.
Favorite part of living in California so far?
So far, the weather. It's been like, you just, I mean, it's like 70 degrees during the meat part of the day, so it's pretty relaxing outside.
Next question, 4.
4. Okay. What sport would you rather? Which sport would you rather play? Just any sport, actually.
Any sport?
Any sport.
Probably professional baseball or professional soccer.
Good question.
Okay. You can throw in one here.
Go for it. It's all you.
Okay.
Make it a good one.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question that Charlie asked me. If you had to be any professional athlete, who would you be?
Oh, if I had to be any professional athlete, Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, that dude just, it's a good choice.
There you
Can't go wrong with him.
All right, guys, this was your kind of speed drill camera version, hand camera on the iPhone 6 version of Freestyle Friday. We're not in the normal meeting room, but we're out here barbecuing. We're getting some...
Get the whole crew in here.
There you go. We're kind of having fun with it, but we'll catch you guys next week. Probably more of an actual sit-down show, but this week we want to make sure we got it in, so we'll catch you guys next time.